Simon Keeling here at weatherweb.net, and it's Wednesday the 18th of December. Thanks again for watching. Now, we all have those moments in life where things change. Well, one of those for me was way back when I was a child. Is what started my love of meteorology off, and that was when I was at school. Now, it started off at primary school for me, but then really got cemented when I went to secondary school. I went to St Peter's Collegiate School in Wolverhampton. It's still there, it's still going, and but now my daughter goes there, and other members of the family go there as well. But today she told me, Dad, it's the last time I'm going to be in room 1 for geography. Yeah, my geography teachers, Mr Crofts and Mr Bruton, took us through all parts of geography in there, which I absolutely loved, and it set me on my way for my career in meteorology. But the last time they're using room 1 today, the reason is that the school's been renovated and geography moves out of that block. So it's a sad but a happy day today. Isn't it amazing how these people kind of set you on your way for your career? So Mr Bruton and Mr Crofts, if you're watching, thank you very much. Or it's your fault, one of the two. Anyway, let's take a look at what's happening. Incidentally, this is the school entrance. This was the new block when I went there, but now the new block's looking like this. Isn't that amazing? Just look at that. The facilities that are now available in school just makes you excited to look at it and to get back and do some learning once again. Anyhow, perhaps I was just a strange child, I probably was. It wasn't your average 12 and 13-year-old who recorded every single shipping forecast for 5 years, wrote them all down and plotted up every chart, was it? Anyway, let's move on past confessions of Simon. Going to be gusty over the next few hours. This is the chart for this evening. So this is for Wednesday evening. And what this one is showing us is gusts of wind getting up to and above 50 miles an hour across many western parts of the country. These winds spreading their way eastwards during the course of the evening and overnight could get up as high as 60, perhaps even 70 miles an hour across western parts of Scotland and western parts of Wales. However, that's not going to be the only windy day, because another one we need to watch for is on Friday. So this is the chart for Friday. This is actually Friday evening, so running from 6 p.m. Friday onwards up to midnight. And you notice here sort of 40 to 50 mile an hour winds across many parts of the country, picking up to 50 miles an hour plus out towards the west. And it looks like those winds continue throughout the course of the night on Friday. They're not tremendously strong, but I think it's just a case of you being wary. If you're going out on Friday night, just be aware that that it is going to be pretty breezy. Now, we'll take a look at the longer term in just a mo, but wanted to whiz through the charts for you quickly. This is the chart for today, for Wednesday. Got a series of fronts passing their way eastwards, bringing outbreaks of rain through the course of this afternoon, most of it out towards the west, the east seeing it this evening. The main feature really is this low, which is going to track its way northeastwards overnight, and it's as that does so, the isobars here you can see getting close together, and those strong winds drag their way eastwards. On to Thursday now, and low pressure is still there on Thursday. It's up towards the north though, but we've got this west to southwesterly wind still blowing through the country. It's still going to be pretty strong as well, and I think we will find further outbreaks of rain around. Most of those outbreaks of rain look as if they are probably going to be through more western parts of the country, but I still can't rule them out going eastwards as well, although I do suspect that for many central and east areas it should actually be brighter with some sunny spells. Now, got a caveat to put in here, because it looks as if during the afternoon this trough here you can see moves east. As it does so, I think what's going to happen is the showers will turn increasingly to snow across the high ground of northern England and across Wales too, having been falling as snow for most of the morning across western parts of Scotland. So just be aware of that over high ground tomorrow. Now, it's going to be feeling pretty cool on Thursday as well. On to Friday, got a weak ridge of high pressure that builds in during the course of Friday. So we'll find rain moving eastwards overnight associated with this trough. Now, one thing I should say about this overnight Thursday into Friday is that within this area here, there is the risk of some snow over high ground. So just be aware of that. The Transpennines routes on Thursday evening into the early hours of Friday morning could be quite tricky as that band of rain moves its way eastwards. However, during Friday itself, it looks as if it should be a brighter day, particularly across eastern areas. One of the better days, actually. Feeling pretty chilly. I think we'll find some good sunny spells around, but cloud tending to increase through the afternoon. And that will bring rain in from the west in the afternoon through Ireland, western Scotland, western Wales, northwest England. But many eastern parts of the country should be staying dry. On to Saturday, and really some heavy rain around during the course of the night into Saturday morning. I think that rain reluctant to clear away from East Anglia and southeastern parts of England during the course of the morning. It may do so in the afternoon, but I just have a sneaky feeling it's going to be holding on across parts of Suffolk, Kent, probably through Sussex as well through much of the day. I think we'll also then find during Saturday afternoon another trough coming in from the west, this bringing some pretty hefty showers to western Scotland, northwest England, western Wales and Ireland. And really I think Saturday overall probably just not a pleasant type of day. It'll be breezy as well. Sunday, well, another breezy one on Sunday, but I think generally a better day. I think we'll find some sunny spells around, particularly across eastern areas. The west is going to be seeing showers all the time, and these showers falling as snow across the hills of Scotland. On to Monday, and a front moves its way southeast during the course of Monday. Quite a slow process though, so I think many areas are going to become wet, and I think particularly central Scotland, Northern Ireland, Eastern Ireland, southwest England, Wales and Northern England, as well as parts of the Midlands, could be in for quite a wet one on Monday. I think the rain probably reaching the far southeast by evening, by which time dry weather comes into the west. But again, notice that low pressure area, the isobars close together, very windy through Scotland. And then on Christmas Eve, on the 24th, well, low pressure look here, passing towards the west of Scotland. It looks like bringing us a wet start to the morning on Christmas Eve as this rain moves eastwards. Windy too, gusts of over 60 miles an hour for many. I think then we're going to be finding showers moving in from the west. They'll be sweeping their way eastwards during the course of Christmas Eve itself. The rain clears away and then the showers move in, but I think what they will do is turn to snow quite quickly across northern and western parts of Scotland, parts of northwest England and over the higher ground of Wales as well. Now, what we need to watch for, particularly if you're travelling on Christmas Eve, is this northwest corner of Scotland, the risk there of some blizzards during the course of Christmas Eve evening. But we'll keep you updated on the timings of that. Now, into Christmas Day. And it looks as if for Christmas Day, it probably starts off dry through Christmas Day morning. A bright start as well. Pretty chilly. I think some showers, though, running up across southeastern parts of England. Elsewhere, largely dry, just one or two showers across western Scotland. However, it's all change into the afternoon and the evening because we're going to be finding a front which will position here. That'll be sweeping its way northeastwards. That'll be bringing some heavy rain with it and some very, very strong winds into Christmas Eve night. A bit of uncertainty over exactly where it is, but this is the position for 6 o'clock on Christmas Day evening, and you can see here that big area of heavy rain, those strong winds, particularly across southern England, low pressure here, a deep area of low pressure crossing Northern Ireland and into southern parts of Scotland. And I think what that is going to do is bring colder air in with it across the hills, the Grampians, the highlands of Scotland, perhaps the southern uplands too. Here we could find several hours of snow into the early hours of Boxing Day morning. And then as we head into Boxing Day, the low will be gradually clearing its way eastwards, and I think then what we'll find is probably some sleet and some snow coming into northeastern parts of Scotland. Strong winds for all, as you can see, showers piling in from the west, more persistent rain for southern Scotland and for southern parts of England as well. A very unsettled look to things, and cold too across Scotland, Northern Ireland and Northern England. Can't rule out a risk of some snow even at low levels in those areas. It would only be transitory at low levels, but I think it could be there in the form of showers. And confidence is gradually building in this idea of becoming windy as well. This is the chart from the ECMWF for midnight on Boxing Day. And you see again that low almost positioned in exactly the same position that the GFS had it. Very, very strong winds to the south of it. Storm force winds. We need to watch this one. Although it should be noted, not every model is going for it. This is the Canadian, again for midnight on the 26th. You notice that low nowhere to be seen. It still wants to make dominant this low out towards the west, but this model may be smoothing things out a little bit too much and just can't see the detail. Now, a little bit further ahead, yesterday, in yesterday's brief look-ahead video, I was talking about cold weather in January. This is the CFS from today, and this is similar in its pattern, that it drops off temperatures early part of January. Well, it tries to do, actually, the end of the month, but this is the main fall-off here in the early part of January. It's then trying to pick them up again mid-month before losing them into the middle part of the month, before picking them up again and taking them into the part of January. So it's a fairly similar picture. It just doesn't have that prolonged cold spell. And I think what the CFS has tried to do today is still to bring the low pressure further south for the early part of January, bringing in more of an easterly wind, but it tries to make the jet stream blow back in again. I'm still going to go for this idea of a cooler snap somewhere between the 10th stroke 15th through to around about the 24th 29th. I think I'm going to say cool to cold. I'm not going to go desperately cold, but I think it will just be a snap of more wintry type weather. 2 degrees in the north, 5 degrees in the south, those sort of daytime temperatures. And if we just look at the monthlies from the CFS today, this is for the rest of December, and shows the low anomalies up towards the northwest, the higher anomalies down to the south. Keeps this jet stream blowing basically through the country throughout December. January looking like this now. I think that you've got to remember this is a month as a whole, so this is the mean. And what it's trying to do here, look, is hint at these higher heights building out towards the east and here, but also, more importantly, there's the low heights towards the north created by the jet stream and the low heights that are going to be there in the early part of the month. But what's interesting is, I think that the trough that's down here at the moment gets split. There's a section the CFS is trying to pick up to the south, and it's this splitting of the high and of the low that brings in the potential for that brief spell of cooler weather during the middle to latter stages of the month. Sneak look into February, believe it at your peril. I mean, it really is a bit of a mug's game doing this, but let's just have a look anyway. Low the normal heights coming in across the Atlantic, hints at a ridge building, somewhere maybe high pressure up here, low pressure's tending to pass to the south, trying to make it a little cooler through February. It may be that the start of the month is cooler, but I think the back end of the month is probably more unsettled, but this could all change, of course. But what it does do is try to keep the jet further south through there. In fact, it may be a little bit further south than that. So just interesting, it's pulling that jet straight south, putting us in cooler conditions. And then March, I mean, real crystal ball stuff, you know, you believe this at your peril. But for March, what it's trying to do is to keep the jet here. Look, trying to make a branch of it come up here, but it's actually strongest split off there through the southern Mediterranean. We've got low the normal heights across Scandinavia, higher than normal heights off here across Greenland. That would result in a flow something like that, which could bring us into a chilly north or northeasterly flow, particularly across northern and eastern parts of the country. Again, I stress this is not a forecast. I'm just showing you the guidance that the CFS is trying to give at the moment, and it's just interesting that it's developed that idea. Okay, so of course we'll keep you updated on that right the way through. Okay, I'm going to go and think more about Room 1 geography. But for now, thanks again for watching weatherweb.net, and whatever you're doing today, have a great day and keep the sun shining. Bye for now.